imagine that. I don't really think it's happening. So anyway, I should just go every show I should have, George, I'm still coming to get you. That's a good idea. I'm going to have like a war criminal watch or something like that at the end of every show. So anyway, but when I started my radio show, a lot of people emailed me, said, Cindy, you know, you have a big soapbox, you are one person, you did a big thing. But we can't do these big things. Every week, give us something that we can do. And so every week, I think of a listener soapbox action that everybody can do. It's just something really easy. Not really easy, but something that is achievable for everybody. So I thought I can't expose myths and I can't dispel myths without giving solutions. And so I came up with the title, Myth America, and the subtitle is 10 Greatest Myths of the Robber Class and the Case for Revolution. And the conclusion is revolution. And I'm going to read you the myths, then I'm going to talk about the revolution. And it's probably not what you're thinking, or maybe it is, I don't know. So the myths, and I'm going to expand this book. I'm off the whole month of August. I'm going to go and write 10 more myths. And I've realized since I've been on this book tour for 3 months now that I just barely put my toe in the water. That I have to dive into the subject because it goes way more deeper than I was able to go in 100 pages. So anyway, the first robber class myth is America. This is our foundational myth. Okay, this is the reason we can believe all the other myths. America is the greatest nation in the universe. Not on the planet, not in history, but the entire freaking universe. Okay? If there's another solar system that has a planet, that has a nation, we don't need to know anything about that nation. We don't need to know anything about its culture, its history, its people, its social structure. We already know we're better than that nation. And we know we're better than every other nation on this planet. We don't know anything about that nation. We don't know, you know, most of us, you probably do, but the average American doesn't know anything about other cultures. We don't know anything about other religions, other histories. I go around the world and I'm appalled that the average person in another country knows way more about America than the average person in this country does. I just saw a thing they did on the Daily Show, I think it was, and this dude asked somebody in America who's the Speaker of the House, and they didn't know even what a Speaker of the House was. And then he went to some country in the Middle East and asked, and the lady said, I think Mrs. Pelosi. Not the lady, the man was, I think Mrs. Pelosi. So anyway, that's the foundational myth. That whatever we do is good, we're better, we're faster, we're shinier than every other country in the universe. My second robber class myth is elections matter. And I start off that chapter with an Emma Goldman quote. Emma Goldman's one of my heroes. And she said, if elections really changed anything, they'd make them illegal. And the third robber class myth is the myth that there's a significant difference between Democrats and Republicans in the robber class. Another one of my heroes, Ralph Nader, says, yay, Ralph. And I just want to give props to my presidential candidate, Cynthia McKinney, because she's one of the bravest women in the world, as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, Ralph Nader said there's not a dime's worth of difference in the robber class between Democrats and Republicans. The fourth robber class myth is it's noble to die in robber class wars. The fifth robber class myth is the Federal Reserve System cares about you. The sixth robber class myth is it's a privilege to pay taxes to the robber class. The seventh, doesn't that make you feel so good and squishy inside every year when you write that check? Or when you get your paycheck and it has all these taxes taken out, you're just like, it's just, dang it. It's good to keep them rich. The seventh Robert class myth is, remember the sixth one is it's a privilege to pay taxes to the Robert class. The seventh myth is health care, quality education, housing, and healthy food are also privileges. For us. They're human rights for the Robert class. For us, there's privileges. And what are we told? What are we told here in this country? If you don't have a home, or if you don't have a good job, or if you don't have health care, and if your child has to join the military because he can't afford college, or he can't find a good job, or she, then there's something wrong with you. There must be something wrong with you. You must not work hard enough. You must not be smart enough. You must not be good enough if you don't have these things. Well, people, please. You're good enough. You're smart enough. You deserve, everybody in the world deserves these things. What I read are basic human rights. Not just white, rich American Christians, but everybody in the world deserves these things. And there's not anything wrong with you if you don't have them. It's the system. It's the system that is sick, not you. My eighth Robert class myth, which is also something I have a lot of experience with, is that America has a free press. The ninth Robert class myth is the environment, who needs it? We all need it, even the Robert class. You know, and it amazes me. They have children and grandchildren. You know, this is their world, but for them, what is it? What do they care more about than the environment and their children? Immediate profit. They sacrifice future sustainability for immediate profit. They're blowing off mountaintops to get what Barack Obama calls clean coal. There's no such thing as clean coal. You know, Robert Kennedy Jr. calls it a dirty lie. Clean coal is a dirty lie. And even if there was a process to take a lump of coal and make it clean, that's a dirty process. But then, if you have to blow off the tops of mountains, how does that make something clean? You're destroying the ecology. You're destroying the air. You're destroying the streams. You're killing wildlife. You're killing children. Coal and coal mining. And I want to tell you one thing about Nancy Pelosi. She was on, she invested in T. Boone Pickens, okay? And she was on Tom Brokaw, and she said, well, I have to because, you know, I have to invest in clean coal, and we need clean coal because she said this. She's not Speaker of the House because she's smart. She said, we need clean coal technology to break our dependence on fossil fuel. You know, Earth to Nancy, coal is a fossil fuel. So, I know. Sigh. And my 10th Robert class myth is, I think, the foundational myth for where we are today. Exactly where we are today on July 9th, 2009. Tomorrow's my birthday. It's 19 Muslims with box cutters caused 9/11. And am I saying that that's an inside job or what the truthers say or whatever? What I'm saying is it doesn't matter what you believe about 9/11. It doesn't matter if you believe, on one hand, that Dick Cheney wrote the plan for 9/11 in his bunker, you know, between heart attacks. It's like step one, train Arabs to fly. Step two, or do you believe the other extreme? Do you believe the other extreme of the official story?